Welcome to What in the Anime, your weekly anime podcast. Now, here's your hosts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, it's me, Dustyn, and with me, as always, a little day late because he wanted to battle the weather. We got Tyler.
I'm here. I survived. It only took an extra day, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think he just likes putting more work on me the night before we're supposed to post this show.
Yeah, why not? I mean, a little bit of snow never hurt nobody unless it shuts down all the roads in our town, and then I don't know what to do. So I was out for the weekend for my daughter's cheerleading competition, and we decided to get almost 2 feet of snow in the hometown. Where I was, it was 90 degrees, so it must have been just you.
Yeah, no, not here. My screen door was half covered in snow. There's no getting out. We had to push as much as we could and squeeze out just to shovel out the porch.
Yeah, I didn't have to deal with any of that. I was just able to send you nice pictures of the weather, get to go shopping. There was a store inside of the mall, and it literally had all the anime figures that you could think of, and all the different stickers and posters. It was the coolest store I've ever been to.
Did you buy anything?
Yeah, I bought a Minato from Naruto. I bought a figure. It was about $60, but there were some of those about 150. I wanted to get. There was an Itachi one I wanted to get.
Oh, you sent me a picture of a Jiraiya one. I would have stole that one.
Yeah, they were so cool, and there's so much stuff. If I could ever take you there, I would. But you'd be broke.
Oh yeah, so. I'm always broke anyway. All right, so on the list for today, we just got a couple little news items. We got a new segment we're going to do, which is kind of like a get to know us as the host type of deal. It's going to be called Dustyn on the Spot. Tyler's got 15 random questions. I have no idea what they are because we do not script this podcast at all, really. We basically know the topics that we're talking about, and everything else is unscripted. So
no editing, no nothing. We get straight to it. I have 15 questions that I came off the top of my head, and a lot of it was when I was on my 7-hour drive. Mm-hmm. So there's some dedication. I was even doing it outside. So
right on. So
we'll see.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll see. They're a little off the wall, a little bit of scenarios. Maybe put you on the spot, turn you into a villain, see what we can do.
I love being the villain. It's fine. And then after that, we got our typical 3v3 match, which we changed that up. We'll get more into that later. And then we're going to wrap up with a God of Highschool review. And update on upcoming reviews. We did not have a third one, but next week we will be doing Cowboy Bebop. And then after that, we'll be doing Blue Exorcist Season 1. We don't have a third one as of right now. I think
we should do Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer? All right.
I think we should do Demon Slayer
We're
Season
doing
2.
Demon Slayer Season 2 next 3 weeks from now. So there we go. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to just hop right into the news. So for news, we only got 2 items, nothing too major. We got, first off, Netflix announced Ultraman Season 3, and it's going to be the final season. I just started this anime, and I'm about 6-7 episodes in, and it's not bad. My issue is I don't care for CGI animes, and this one is full-blown CGI. So
you keep talking about it. I keep dissing it, and I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Maybe one day I'll get into it, but
you're gonna have to because we're gonna be reviewing it.
I know, but I'll prolong it as long as possible.
Oh, I know you will. Yeah, no, that'll be after Demon Slayer. Just you wait.
But yeah. I had to sneak in my Demon Slayer just so I could finally get to talk about it.
There you go. Hey, that's fine with me. I love that show. So yeah, anyway, final season. I don't know what the general ideas or feelings on that show are. For me, the story's really good so far, but again, CGI animation, I'm not a huge fan of. So moving on to the last bit of news we have is Crunchyroll CEO Colin is resigning. And the only reason I really bring that up is because he was one of the instrumental people in the acquisition of Funimation. So them becoming one company, he was really involved between the Funimation acquiring Crunchyroll and then the merging of the two and starting to get their libraries put together, and he is stepping down.
I I'm wondering what's happening behind doors. Like, there's got to be something. I have not looked into any of this. I know I read something a little bit about it, and then you told me about it, and I was like, wait. Like, there has, like, unless they forced him out, like, they didn't like the direction it was going to go, or I don't know. Like, what is this? And like I said, I have not looked at any of this, so this could all be speculation on my end, but where does it go from, bringing Crunchyroll and Funimation together? Is there a different plan ahead? Are we going to get those Crunchyroll originals
coming back? I hope so.
I mean, either come back or don't come back at all, depending on how they're going to do it, but...
Yeah, it doesn't say why, it just says he's stepping down. It could be any number of things. A lot of times, like, if a company doesn't want to say, like, oh, we're firing this person, sometimes they'll be like, oh, yeah, they're stepping down from the role. Maybe he got a better offer from somewhere else. Like,
yeah, maybe
CEOs change quite a bit. For our company, personally, I'm not going to get into what we do for a living, but we've had a CEO change before. So it happens. And they said that Raul Purini, I think that's how you say his name. He is the COO. That's the chief operating officer. So basically, think of that one person under the CEO. He's going to be the one stepping up and taking that CEO position. So
yeah,
they already got a field.
I guess it could be age. It could be he completed his job. Could be a lot of different things. Maybe that was part of the merger. Maybe he gets some kind of bonus out of that and doesn't have to deal with it after that.
Right, and I don't know, maybe this could be a good thing because you got, like, I'm not a huge fan of the Crunchyroll app interface in terms of, like, picking language and all that. It's not the greatest, so maybe this could be a good thing. Maybe they could bring a little bit of the Funimation style in.
Yeah, if you want a good example, and I'm not trying to bring Demon Slayer up again, go into Demon Slayer and look at the selection of the list. Every single, like... It shows like the first part of each word as like the selection. So it's like Demon Slayer, and then it'll be like the movie, and then it has all the languages. Like they're all in different categories. So you have like 10 different Demon Slayer things, and then you have to wait for it to scroll just to figure out what language you're going to. If you're watching the movie, the second part of season 2, after the first 6 episodes, it's just a mess. And then I'm pretty sure unless I'm forgetting something or I don't see it, they don't have like the skip intro or like the first, I don't know. No, I always have a problem with it. And so I always have to fast forward when I don't,
Yeah. I just finished Cowboy Bebop, just so you know. And there is no skip intro. I had to fast forward every time. Just so you know, a minute, like 38. That's what you got to skip.
Will do. I got to get on that this week.
You do. Because I'm not going to lie, that is not the greatest binge-worthy animes. It's a really good anime, but it's very episodic. So you're going to have... It's not like cliffhangers where it's like really easy to binge it. It's more of a episode of the week type of feel half the time.
Yeah, it's fine. You're signing me up to watch anime. I can only complain so hard.
Yeah.
As long as you're not losing a bet and you're watching, the Centaur's life or whatever it is that made you watch. I know you don't want to talk about it, but
no one ever needs to speak of that show. I lost a bet to Tyler, and he picked the worst anime he could find, and it was bad. I will never finish that show.
Yeah, maybe you can review it.
No, I don't want to talk about that. Keep this family friendly. Well.
Should we get into our first segment? We might try to keep this one a little bit shorter than normal just because we have a little deadline we're trying to get to. And I don't know. We've been pushing that hour long. And I think this week we'll go just a little bit shorter. And then maybe we'll go back to the original. But this week I'm going to do Dustyn on the spot. So are you ready for your questions?
Yep. As ready as I'll ever be. Let's go.
Yeah, I got them written down. I'll give you a couple easy ones and a couple hard ones. So This is basically 15 questions. Dustyn doesn't know what they're going to be, and he's got to come up with the answers on the top of his head. So, first one I'll just ask you. I'll go easy. What's your next anime tattoo?
Next anime tattoo is either going to be Red Riot from My Hero Academia in his Unbreakable form, or I was going to maybe get like a Gundam tattoo.
Okay, Gundam would be pretty cool. You got room on your leg, or?
Yep, exactly.
That's a pretty big piece. Okay, cool. Okay, we'll go into that since I'll kind of lead off of that. Pick one character that you would have die and never come back in the series. Kirishima from My Hero, Vegeta from Dragon Ball, and I put this one in, King Boji from Ranking of the Kings. Which one would you have a horrible death and never come back?
So I feel really bad about choosing this one, but I'm gonna say King Boji.
You were really good at King.
I feel terrible because like he is such a sweet boy.
This is where I turn you into the villain.
This
is where I turn you into the villain. So,
but like Kirishima, I literally just said I'm getting a tattoo of him. He is my favorite. I love that guy, and Vegeta is my all-time favorite DBZ character. And like, if you just said kill him, that's fine. He dies all the time, but you said never comes back. So,
see, and I would have picked
Boji.
I know another one of your favorite characters is like Jiraiya, but it's like, well, he already died.
Yeah, he's already dead.
You can't pick him. So I just was like, I'll pick like a sweet innocent child, and then there you go. All right,
it's fine.
All right, here's one off the wall that I don't think you'll be able to guess. Your all-time anime crush.
My all-time anime crush?
Yeah, you can say this one quietly so your wife don't hear.
I don't care if she hears. Man, that's a tough one.
Who pulls at your heartstrings?
I just finished Cowboy Bebop, and I'm still not going to choose a chick from it.
You're like, wait, there's a backstory. I don't want to be that guy.
Gosh, dude, I really don't know. I'm just gonna go with the creepy answer, and I'll say a Midnight from My Hero.
There you go. See, you would have just said that in 5 seconds. You got good taste.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So what anime would you think make a very good video game?
Video game, I would say. I don't want to pick any of the typical ones because you already got like My Hero video games, stuff like that.
Well, one that stands out that lasts 5 years. You want to see it become a great game.
So I'd like to see a better Demon Slayer game because they made it just like they did the Naruto games. But if they could make one where you actually kind of have like a build your own character Demon Slayer game, I would love that. That would be my favorite.
Yeah, well, even if you can get some kind of open world kind of, progress through the map, stuff like that.
Yeah, build your own character, progress through the map. They did that with Attack on Titan video games. You got to build your own character, and I love that. So I'd love to see that in Demon Slayer format.
Okay, so I got a funny one here. So, and I literally thought of this at the top of my head. If you had to choose to be the lead actor out of one of these movies, and the ratings of these movies can't change, would you choose Avatar: The Last Airbender, or the live-action Dragon Ball movie?
I gotta be the lead of a crappy movie.
You gotta be the lead of how they pronounce it, Ong.
Ong or the weird-looking Goku.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm already bald, so I gotta go with Avatar.
Okay, yeah, that's a tough one because both of those.
Can you imagine me wearing a fake Goku wig?
Oh God, I mean, I just to see you in one of those movies, you could probably never get another acting job.
That's fine. I don't get another acting job now.
Oh, I'm just saying, that's how you make your money. So if that's what you chose, looks like you have to find something else to do. Okay, all right, so my next question will be, would you rather go back in time and save Junpei from
Jujutsu
Kaisen or L from Death Note?
I guess Junpei. The way he died was so sad and so messed up that like I want to save him the pain because he had a crappy upbringing as it is, and he had a light at the end of the tunnel, and yeah, I'd go with it.
Okay, all right, Death Note fans,
it's fine.
You know where he stands. So okay, next question. I have what anime was better than you expected?
Better than I expected. Tower of God, actually. I know
Really?
we just
Okay.
reviewed this recently, but when I first saw the animation for it and stuff, I was like, it's going to be garbage, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Okay. Didn't know if maybe you would choose Little Cowboy Bebop since it's fresh in your memory, but I'm glad you chose
Oh, no,
something different.
I watched that growing up back in the day when it was on late nights on, like, Toonami and Adult Swim or whatever, so I already knew I liked Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, I think we only got about 8 questions left.
Okay.
Would you rather attend UA High from My Hero or Dual Academy from Yu-Gi-Oh?
UA High.
UA High.
Yeah, I don't want to just play cards. Like, I want some flipping superpower.
Yeah, but what if your superpower is like
The naval laser, I will take it.
long nipples? I don't know. You're gonna take
They're
that?
whips. They're whips.
Yeah, they're whips. I got nipple lasers. All right. Well, we know where you're wanting to go for that. So, okay. What Pokemon would you choose as your companion?
Any Pokemon or out of the starters?
Any Pokemon?
Jolteon.
Jolteon. Okay. So you'd start off with an Eevee.
Yep.
Get that Thunderstone. Okay. All right. Let's see if I got a funny one. Yeah. Okay. So if you had to choose out of these 3 people to be your best friends, which one would you choose? Mineta from My Hero, Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, and then Ichiya. Do you remember who he is? He's from Fairy Tail. He's the parfum. He's the...
Oh, yeah. Oh. Those are my options?
Those are your options, and that's your best friend.
God, I gotta go Mineta.
Oh.
Like, he's annoying, but I mean, that parfum guy, I cannot stand him in that show.
Yeah, if
And
anyone watches Fairy
Hisoka
Tail,
was creepy.
the fact that there's a cat version of him,
Yeah.
it's the most annoying thing in that show. I had to fit him in one of the things and see if you'd choose him. So.
No, I'll choose Mineta. Because I mean, you get to slap him around when he's being stupid. So.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. Which villain do you understand more than others?
Understand more than others. Ooh, okay.
See, that one could be a tough one. Some of these are gonna be hard to think off the top of your head, but.
Yeah, so in Psychopaths, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was a very interesting villain. Like, obviously he went about stuff the wrong way, all villains do, but he was trying to show basically how messed up and corrupt the Sybil system is. So if you haven't seen Psychopaths, the Sybil system detects like your potential of being a criminal and you're arrested, like just based off of your mental, oh, that person has a potential to commit a crime, so we're just going to arrest them before they even have a chance to do it.
And he was trying to see how that was a corrupt system, and he was trying to point it out.
So he was a villain. Like, he by no means is a good, like, because he was basically turning people into serial killers, but he was also exposing the system for what it truly was.
Okay. Next question. I only got 4 more, so these ones are pretty simple. Last one will be kind of a cool one. This one will be, what anime that has almost or has made you cry?
Almost or has made me cry. Erased. I don't think I've seen that yet, but that one it's a really good one. It's about this dude who can, basically, he has these, like, it's almost like a deja vu thing where he goes back in time about a minute and he's able to stop something from happening. And he accidentally goes all the way back to when he was a kid, when kids in his neighborhood were being abducted and killed.
Okay.
And he tries to change the future. There's some really good sad moments in it.
Okay. I thought maybe you'd look at your right arm and see Jiraiya.
See Jiraiya? Yeah. I definitely teared up for that one.
There's a lot of sad parts in Naruto. So no, and any of these questions that I ask, and you guys watch this or listen to this, think of it in your head what your answers could be. You know, if you want to send them, some of them. It'd be kind of cool to see what you guys think too. But these are just kind of off the wall. Get to know Dustyn a little bit. So
yeah, and if you want to fight me on some of the decisions I made, bring it on.
Yeah, he's a Mineta King Boji killer. So
King Boji Killer. That's the title of the episode, King Boji Killer.
Yeah. Okay. So with that one, favorite anime ending. That one's simple.
Favorite anime ending?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's simple at all.
No, simple question.
Oh, a simple question. Okay, just because it's fresh in my mind, and I think that's the only reason I keep thinking of it. But Cowboy Bebop, I absolutely love how they ended the last 2 episodes of it. So I'm just gonna go with that.
Okay. How did Yu Yu Hakusho end? You didn't like the ending of that one?
No, it wasn't the best. Like I liked
Okay.
it, but it wasn't like a top tier like ending to a series to me.
Okay. 2 questions left. What mainstream anime? What is a mainstream anime that you absolutely don't like?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I have given it a shot here and there. The animation style, though, I can't get into, and I just don't like it.
Right. Okay. Last question. So, whose decision is more justified? Itachi or Eren Yeager?
Itachi,
So
he only killed his family. Eren Yeager is horrible.
No, I'm just you have one that kills his entire family for the village.
Yep.
And then you have one that saves his entire family, his friends, and kills the village. kills the world.
Kills the
world. So
he destroys everything. Yeah, I go with Itachi because I mean, it was definitely probably a really messed up situation because he killed like his parents and everything and like his entire clan. But he did it for the good of the village, and then he decided basically to live that life of exile to still continue to protect the village. So I don't know. I liked his reasoning, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you I know where I stand in that because I'm your family, and so I know I would be in the grave. I'd be 6 feet under. So thanks.
No, you'd be my Sasuke. I'd save you.
Yeah. Okay.
Not my own brothers. I'll save my cousin, not my brothers.
Well, I what a way to be saved. I mean, thanks.
You're welcome.
But that was all the questions. So there's some of those I looked up, but like I said, a lot of those were like off my head. Like, oh, I don't even know the answers to those. So.
Right. Yeah. No, that was good. That was fun. We'll do a Tyler on the spot next week.
Yeah. I'll give you the most simple answers.
That's fine. I'll take them. I'll give you some hard ones as well, and that way you could be the villain as well, and I'm not all alone here.
Yeah. See, that's the reward you get for going first.
It's fine. Fine.
All right, so we are going to do our 3v3 again. This one's going to be a little shorter version because we basically I have characters that I maybe not. Maybe I'll destroy Dustyn. Maybe I won't. But this time we did a little bit different format. Normally we go to like an anime generator. We get three characters. You hit generate. You go off those 3. That's all we do. We look up those 3, do whatever we can. This time we decided to do a little bit different just to kind of get a little spice to it. We did 6 characters, and basically it shows it in 2 rows, top left, middle, and top right, and then same with the bottom row. And basically I got to choose, we went every other, I got to choose either top left, bottom left, whatever it was for him. I couldn't see his screen, so I still don't know his characters. But I chose 3 in whatever order they were, and he chose 3. So it kind of gave us a little bit more variety. So it'd be like, oh, I hope he picks this character. I hope he doesn't. Kind of one of those things. So
we took screenshots. That way we can send each other later
what they were. And then that way it's like, this is what you could have chose. You choose your fate kind of thing. So, And Dustyn chose his fate. Very, very simple.
Yeah, I'm probably going to lose again because this thing hates me. So I'm going to have 4 losses, but we'll see. Tyler, you go first, though.
Okay, so I'm going to pick probably my weakest character.
Okay.
I got Tsunade off of Naruto.
Okay. That sucks.
In which way?
So I definitely have 2 people that I think are way stronger than Tsunade, but I was gonna do my weakest first, and if that's your weakest, my weakest is probably he's
it's my weakest because I don't. I'll keep going. I'll tell you a little bit, Tsunade. I'm not going to depth because these are characters everyone's gonna know. So basically, Tsunade is a descendant from the Senju and Uzumaki clan. Tsunade can summon segments of like Katsuya, which is the slug. It can use she can use it in her divisions as a form of long distance communications or shield Tsunade's injuries and allies' injuries. She has the natures of lightning, fire, water, and earth. Tsunade's transformation technique makes her appear as if she were still in her 20s or 30s, and she's basically the world's greatest medical ninja. So she's one of the legendary Sannin. There's kind of plain and simple, but everyone knows how OP she is. Like she may have her gambling issues, and she has her weaknesses to the people that she loves, but if you're an enemy of Tsunade, she'll go above and beyond to destroy you. So, like, pretty simple, but it's an Naruto character. Everyone knows those characters. Do you have anything to compete with that?
Oh, I do, but I'm gonna throw my weakest one first, so that way maybe I could do a little damage and then finish her off easy in the next one. So I got Guts from Berserk.
Okay, you explain yourself. I have no idea.
Okay, so he's not weak by any means, but this anime, from what I was looking up, because I've never watched it, I'd never liked the CGI, and I just haven't watched the classic version. I looked up as much as I could on this character before we started, though, and he's basically like a knight. He fights with a sword, he fights with a crossbow, and at one point he actually has a cannonball he could shoot out of his arm because it's a fake arm on his left hand. So... Okay. He does have some pretty incredible feats, though. One of them is he took on 100 soldiers by himself in one. So he killed 100 men all at once, like in one battle. He took them all on. So that's a pretty big feat. It looks like he's fought in kind of like these like demon creatures. Like there was one that was a snake, and apparently it was like the first one he fought. It was this snake king dude who could turn into this giant snake demon. And not only does he like cut him in half, cut off an arm, but he continuously shoots him in the face with his crossbow after he's already down while he's begging for mercy. Like, Guts seems mean. Like,
just by the name, I mean.
Yeah, so I mean, he does have some feats by fighting demons and all that, and but looking at his stats, I mean, he is peak human. He gets a thing called the Berserk armor where he gets above peak human, but it's nowhere near anything with Naruto. Well, and I'm going to say this is Pokemon style. And everyone knows that even in Pokemon, if you're fighting a legendary, you might still get a hit or two off and do like 10, 20 damage. That's what I'm going off of with Guts against Tsunade, because like Tsunade
has recover.
She has she has recover. You watch her freaking punch the ground and create giant boulders in the sky and stuff. So
yes. She's more OP than people probably give her credit for.
Yep. So, like I said, 10, 20 damage from Guts to Tsunade. I think that's probably fair for a Pokemon fight. And who knows, maybe she'll just recover right away. Probably.
Yeah.
He has a giant sword. Maybe he cuts off a limb. Can we...
Cuts off a limb. Okay, sure. Let's go with that.
All right. So anyway, we're Guts lost. So I already figured that. So next, I'm going with my second one. And you said you got a figure, right? What was that figure?
Damn it!
I'm throwing out Minato, the Yellow Flash. Someone who I think is far better than Tsunade.
I am not gonna argue that one bit because he is probably top 2 of my favorite characters of all time. You got Bakugo's number 1, and you got him as number 2. So, I think that'd be a pretty cool fight. But I just think brains alone.
Yep. Well, I think just the speed aspect as well. Like she has the strength for sure, but his speed and just the abilities that he has, and he's the one who created that demon reaping like sealing spell where it like eats your soul that the third Hokage used on Orochimaru. Yeah. He's the one who made that.
Yeah, but you can't really use that. I mean, you can use that in a fight, but then you're just
that's a self-destruct. I'm not saying he uses that. I don't think he needs that for Tsunade. That's like if your next couple of characters are ridiculous, he's gonna pull a Voltorb or an Electrode, and he's gonna self-destruct. but not this fight. Not this fight. He beats Tsunade. She'll do damage.
Yeah, no, and that's fair. We're gonna have a lot of Naruto-verse.
There's so many people in Naruto, and every generator I've tried, it pops up with Naruto characters.
Yeah, and
do you have more than one Naruto?
Yeah, I do. and I have one that could, in his peak or his prime or whatnot, I would say he could beat him. I don't want to say he does, and you're gonna say he doesn't. But like biased aside, I mean, I don't know if you can argue it, especially after fighting Tsunade. And then again, it goes, Pokemon style, and it's every other, so it feels like we try to do every other, but it literally, that's how we, you kind of snut your weakest, and then you kind of pick someone to kind of outbeat that one. So of course it's gonna kind of go every other. But I got another one I got Sasuke.
Okay.
So I think Sasuke, just with he's got the Amaterasu that lies in his left eye, which whenever he looks at something with his Mangekyou Sharingan activates whenever he wants to basically burn anything in his path. Now I get it with the brains and the speed. Minato, it isn't probably, that's probably not gonna.
Yeah, he could probably avoid most of the Amaterasu pretty easily.
I just think Prime Sasuke, after your character battles with Tsunade, I think with his Susanoo and all of the abilities with I can't even remember what it's called, Karen, the lightning storm that he uses
against Itachi.
Itachi. I think he could. I think at the end of the day, Sasuke will win that fight.
Well, especially once he gets that Rinnegan and he's able to do. Yeah, he's able to teleport as well.
He literally gets the Rinnegan, the 6-path techniques. he can copy all the jutsu, unlocking the full potential of a Sharingan. He can copy, the flash, the yellow flash, his movements. His Rinnegan can make it to where he can, move through space and time. I think he wins. So.
Yeah. So how much damage do we say Tsunade did to Minato before this fight started? She was maybe missing about 10 health from guts. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, 10. I'd say she does probably 30 to 40% on Minato.
Yeah, I think
Sasuke. I think with him, with one arm gone, I mean.
So I say Minato would get the first hit on Sasuke because of speed. Because Pokemon, fastest person goes first every time, right? Mm-hmm. So I at least get one hit off before Sasuke.
I'd have to look. I know Sasuke's pretty fast too. I think he, depending on if he can kind of copy and match that speed. I don't know how that works exactly, but
part of it's Minato. He uses that seal to do his teleporting.
I know.
So
if he can get a control on the battlefield, which he was out first, it could surprise a little bit. But I think with the Sharingan, it's just, I think Prime Sasuke is too OP.
Yeah,
I mean, the only other person that's going to beat him.
Honestly, I probably lost fully right here, right now. I'm already going to call it, but
yeah,
I'll throw out my final. I mean, the final one I got is definitely one of the strongest in his verse, and I really, really like him, and I thought he was going to be a for sure thing, but Sasuke is so OP. I got Guildheart.
He's a cool character. I wish
he
was in that
is
show
such
more.
a cool character. So, people who don't know, Guildheart is from Fairy Tail. He is an S-class wizard, which is like top tier under the Guildmaster. He actually was the Guildmaster for like a day. And then he's like, nah, forget this. I don't want this
responsibility. Sasuke was trying to be Hokage, so.
Yeah, right? So, but he is so strong and so unknowingly strong that when he comes back to town, they literally raise up all the buildings around him so that he doesn't touch any, because if he does, he will blow a hole in the wall just from touching him.
Yeah.
Like, he is extremely powerful and strong. So, I definitely think he could do some good damage, but I feel like the Naruto versus pretty OP compared to Fairy Tail.
You get Sasuke. I mean, he can do the planetary destruction or distortion or whatever.
Okay.
So, and the last character, I'm gonna tell you this. Yeah, I can bring him out. Like I said, Sasuke wins that one.
Yeah. Yeah, you could just tell us who your last one was. I'm gonna say, like, I know there's a lot of Fairy Tail fans out there, and I know Fairy Tail is strong, but I just Guildheart, he's not the main character. He's nothing like that, so I don't see him putting up a fight against, arguably the second strongest person in all of Naruto.
Right, right. So in my notes, I have 3 words for this character.
Okay.
It says, I mean, yeah, ... Like nothing else to say. So I got Saitama.
Oh, you got One Punch Man. Okay.
I got One Punch Man.
He solos my entire team. You could have just thrown him out from the start. You could have just ended this like so fast.
The only problem is we don't know how he compares, to all the other verses because he has this immeasurable strength. Like I seriously don't have to look anything up. Didn't even do just anyone that can do 100 push-ups, sit-ups, and stuff like that a day is pretty powerful. So
well, and that's the joke in it because he's so OP that they're like,
yeah,
that's not all you do. You're kidding us. But yeah, no, Saitama, I mean, he fights aliens and he's sitting there taking hits, like acting like it's no big thing.
Yeah,
and then he does one serious punch and wins. So like,
I mean, when you got Saitama versus Goku, all over the internet, what do you? I don't know. But
I'm saying Saitama probably beats Goku, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. The only problem with that too sometimes is a Saiyan whenever he fights, as long as he learns and adapts and he gets stronger. So you don't know how that measures out.
Yeah, he fights Saitama, and then all of a sudden he becomes Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan times 8.
Yeah, and still probably doesn't do anything. So
I lost again, 0-4. So
hey,
Dustyn got robbed. I'm starting a hashtag.
No, but this is the thing is you chose your fate because do you know what we took the picture of what the other ones were, right?
Yes. Yep. I got my picture.
So the characters that you did not pick was Kenpachi Zaraki. I really don't. I don't even know who he is or where he's from. It was like something Go 13. I can't remember what it was. Don't remember the anime. The other one that you didn't choose was Edward Eldrick from Full Metal Alchemist. You probably could have beat him.
Yeah, all of my guys could have probably beat him, honestly.
Yeah, and then the other one that you didn't choose, which was the bottom left, was Ren Akumura from Blue Exorcist, and he doesn't even know who he really is at this point. So
he's pretty strong though.
No, he's strong, but I mean, I could see him losing to, I don't know.
Yeah, Guts could have put up a fight against him, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, you picked my strongest because my others were like Shikamaru, the dude from Black Butler, and some girl from Soul Eater.
Yeah, and it's funny because I guarantee if I hit that generator again, we're not going to get any Naruto characters. So It's kind of just, it just so happens. But they're the easiest ones to kind of debate too. Or like the funnest ones.
Because we know a lot about them too.
Everyone knows their characters. So we're able to kind of speed through that. Not necessarily that we don't want to take our time.
I have kids coming home soon, and that's why we're kind of rushing tonight is they're going to be barging through this door any minute, and they're going to interrupt, so.
We'll be on good schedule this whole next week. We have, I'm open. Don't know if you are. So
yeah, you need to binge Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah. No, so that kind of goes for a 3v3 fight. I'm gonna say I'm 3-0-1. Kind of give a tie for one of those. It should be 4-0, but Ryuk. I mean, you can't do nothing to him.
Yeah, so. I'm 0-4. I already know it. I'm 0-4. This sucks. Generators
but this is why I wanted to do like this 6 people and we kind of choose, because then you kind of choose your own fate and then you can't disregard. You'd be like, oh, I could have picked,
right.
I could have picked Gohan and I didn't because I just don't have the luck. So
that's fine. At least I like it.
Yeah. So I believe we got a review.
We do. This week we are reviewing The God of High School. Now, before we get into this review, I just want to remind everybody, if you're checking out now, make sure to rate and review us. Email us at whatintheanime.podcast@gmail.com. Follow us on any of the social media. We could be found at either whatintheanime or whatintheanime.podcast. TikTok, Twitter, those are your best bets. And a quick announcement, we're actually going to be here in probably the next week or two. We're going to start Twitch streaming and doing YouTube videos on Switch games. We're going to be ordering a video capture cards, so that way we can start doing videos on that.
Yeah, that'll be fun, because you can only do so much competitive gaming to where you kind of lose the fun out of, I'm so focused on trying to do,
Yeah. Well, and I'm 30 years old, so I mean, like, my reflexes aren't what they used to be, and that's going to be my excuse because I've never been the greatest at competitive games. But
yeah, my backpack can only get so full. So.
Yeah, he carries me a lot.
We'll find out. I'm sure after this we'll try to get on a little bit of games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But all right. Well, got a high school. You want me to go? Am I leading this one?
Yeah, you're leading this week. We'll do our spoiler free and then go from there.
Okay, spoiler free. Got a high school. It starts off. I mean, it's a pretty good anime. The animation's really good. If I can give a rating here at the end, Got a High School it's another webtoon. We're doing 2 in a row. It's the same thing. It's a manhwa. It's basically about a protagonist called, his name is Mori Jin, a 17-year-old martial artist from South Korea. At the beginning, he is invited to join a martial arts tournament called the God of High School. The event is sponsored by this shady corporation that brings together people from high schools all over South Korea on a regional level, and then it kind of gets to a national level in order to select 3 representatives for this world tournament. And as a prize, the winner gets his wish fulfilled by the hosting corporation. No questions asked, no details. You get your wish. This intrigues Mori, and he continues his way through the tournament, and he meets different competitors along the way. It's basically a martial art. It starts off as kind of just a martial arts, and then it kind of turns to this where like these participants get these borrowed powers and go forth, and he meets 2 people, Dowie and Mira, and they become his friends alongside his team, and basically try to get through these preliminary rounds and figure out what this organization's all about, and just move towards their goals. So that's a pretty good synopsis on that show. There is your spoiler free. And now, you ready?
Well, just with the spoiler free, would you recommend people watch this before the review?
It's tough to say. I think you should go to the webtoon. I think you should read the manhwa or the manga, whatever. I think you should do that before you do this.
Yeah.
Because I think if you do the anime and you know nothing about, you're like, oh, that was a cool 13 episodes. But you were missing so much of the story. So I would say I would rather you go to webtoons, look up God of High School, and go from there. And then you can decide to watch the anime, because the anime does not do it justice.
But I will say, if you're going to skip out on the anime, at least go watch the fight scenes, because they do a killer job at like the martial art fight scenes. Like those looked good. Yeah,
no, I loved every bit and part of that, but they just don't have a lot built into those fights, So that was your spoiler free. That was your rating, and here we go. Dustyn, what do you think?
So, overall, Dae Han is my favorite.
Okay.
He was probably the one who had the most compelling story to me. His story was he was getting in this tournament to try to get the medical treatment that they have with their bracelets and everything else. He wanted that same for his friend who was dying of cancer. And I mean, he was working extra, like multiple jobs and all this stuff, picking up hours whenever he could, just so he could help pay for his friend's medical expenses. So to me, he had like one of the coolest flipping reasons out of anybody else.
Yeah, they did. One thing is they did a pretty good job with the 3 main protagonists, the 3 main characters of the team, of creating a backstory and why and who they are and why they're in this tournament. You get Jin Mori and his grandpa. You get Dowie and his friend, and then Mira. I can't even remember exactly. Just everything to do with the sword and
wanting to build up her father's legacy of the moonlight sword style.
and it's, with her father. But besides that, they just don't do a very good job of explaining the story or like where these powers, like the whole show starts off where it's like these people like on an island and it's nothing, and all of a sudden it's raining and storming, and then you just get this big old handprint and they die, so it's like, okay, how did this guy have these godly powers? And it's like it's so cool that like it's this god of high school, and it's all these high school kids that like none of them seem like they really go to high school, and they're trying to find a winner of this tournament. But I feel like they like the name of the tournament doesn't even make any sense compared to where they're trying to go with the show. Like, what is the point? I understand. I don't know. I feel like Jin Mori he's just an off-brand Goku. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah,
So,
I
like,
mean, he's just wanting to fight the strong opponents and all this crap, like, and he just wants to eat. He's always dying of hunger. Like, he's definitely Goku.
Yeah, he's just a side Goku, and that's the best way I can describe him. Now, if you want to go into animation, I think the animation was awesome.
Oh yeah, once you get past
scenes...
the fact that everyone has a pink nose and elbows, once you get past that, because when I first started watching that, it bugged me so bad. But once you get past that, yeah, the animation's amazing.
Yeah, I really do love the fight scenes, and I like that part about the anime, and it's a good in that aspect. But if you look at what you're missing out on from what like the webtoons and what, you go look up reviews. Like I went to, like I said, I don't go to Rotten Tomatoes to look at reviews, but I do look at the audience scores. Do you know what that audience score is? Could you take a guess?
So based off from what I've heard of how much they've left out and my own personal feelings on how like it felt so rushed, I would say like a probably audience score. I'm guessing like 30.
17.
Ooh, worse than I thought.
So yeah, right. So if an audience is scoring that, yeah. So just the animation alone, it's done extremely well. I know a lot of people don't like Jin Mori as just a character. I didn't mind him. And if you didn't know, Mira, the voice actor, I can't stand it in the English because it is the original voice of Ash Ketchum in Pokemon.
Oh gosh, and I didn't even notice.
It throws me off, and I cringe she does a good job. Like, it's just so random because you haven't heard that voice in so long, and then you just see it, and I'm like, oh, is she sending out Pikachu? Oh no, I'm watching this, Taekwondo martial arts fighting style anime. So, and that's the things I notice. That's the things I hear, because a lot of the times I'll kind of either I'll walk away or I'll listen to it in the back of my mind, because like I said, I watched God of High School 2 different times.
Yep. Same.
And so, I didn't necessarily need to rewatch this for this review because I just watched it a couple of months ago. But it's I don't know. It is so. You get the fights. I think there's actually probably fights missing out of all this, and it's just like it's one after another, and then you just get into like all of a sudden it's like this god fight at the end, and you're like, okay, we just got way out of the lines of where this God of High School tournament was supposed to be. Yeah. And now it's like survival of the world, and you're like, you could not have saved that. So it's like I don't know. I don't think it'll come back.
I don't think it will either. Like the way they ended it, it's probably fine because they did this like God style fight at the end. I know that's probably not all, and I know that's not probably like how the webtoons ends or whatever, but I think with the negative reviews, the fact that they rushed it as bad as they did, and I've heard they skipped a lot, yeah, I don't see it coming back. Like I said, the fight scenes were great, but yeah, no, it was really weird because you get from these like somewhat normal fights to, okay, they have some power, to it's gods fighting in the sky.
Yeah, and so it really makes you feel that the main characters were just nothing for 10, 11 episodes, and then all of a sudden you get this corporation and all the main, all the strong people that just, I don't know, it kind of blows everything out of the water. And if you come into this just like 13 episodes to watch a random anime, I thought it was very good. I thought it, but if you look into it and you're like, man, there's a lot looks like missing from this,
it's because there is.
Yeah, well then, and basically that's all it is. There's really nothing more to it. So I don't think it should get a season 2, and if it does, maybe they can redo it. There's no reason why they couldn't just go back, because I think the 3 characters that they created as the team, I think you can go off a lot with those because they're very likable.
Oh yeah, I loved them.
And
They're
so
the best
even,
part of the show. The only other character I liked on the side was that Ilpio Park.
Yeah, Park. Yeah,
Yep.
Park was.
I
I think his character coming in and you thinking, all of a sudden he's kind of turning into this main protagonist. He's the answer, the key, whatever you want to call it. And I really did like his character, but they rushed that part too.
Yep. Oh yeah, they rushed that, and then they rushed Mori, and they rushed everything.
Yeah. No, and you could tell that they tried to fit a little bit in, when Park and Jin were kids,
Yep.
being friends when they were little, and him seeing his grandpa and knowing, but just to see kind of what if they were going to go off a second season, doesn't it kind of end with something with his grandpa still being alive?
Yep.
And yeah, so they could go off of that, but like I said, they did good backstories for the 3 main, but everyone else was just like, boom, let's get you in here, let's fight, let's put these random abilities in, and all of a sudden, instead of a martial arts tournament, it just turned in, to a
DBZ
Naruto
fight.
battle. Yeah, DBZ, just one of those chakra battles, and it's just like, man, you guys could have done a lot more with this and slow it down. I don't know what their budget is, and I'm pretty sure these webtoons, they kind of, like I said, I think they were tests. They were kind of testing how these would do, and whoever was producing those, I don't think did the greatest job with what budget they had. They probably did the best they could.
Yeah.
But it might have been even Mappa Studios that did God of High School, and I can't remember. But like I said, the animation is really good. But with what story they were trying to create, I think they could have done a lot better. So that's my take on it. If I had to give a rating on it, I would give it probably a 4 out of 10. Or a meh.
So I looked it up. It is Mappa.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, okay. So yeah, if I'm looking at this is a webtoon. I'm going to, even though I tried to take every anime separately, I'm going to compare it to the only other webtoon that we've watched, and that's Tower of God. Tower of God's not going to get a second season, which I think it is far more deserving of than God of High School. I'm saying, I'm with you. I was going to say about a 3, but I'll go up to a 4. I'll go to a 4 out of 10 for God of High School because it's lacking a lot. It feels extremely rushed, and you see all the reviews and all this like fan outcry of them skipping stuff, and whenever you have that, you know that they messed up somewhere, because it's just like Promised Neverland all over again, where I tried to enjoy season 2 and I heard all the fans crying out that they skipped the best arcs in Promised Neverland, and it's like, I could live without it. I've never read it. I could just watch the show. But you could feel it. You could see it.
Well, yeah, how would everyone feel if, after the train arc in Demon Slayer, they just skipped, 3
they just skipped to the final battle.
Yeah, they just and then you're just like, well, Demon Slayer turned to crap, after it's gotten all these awards, and then it'd be viewed so terribly. And so if they got to realize, yeah, you can have these 13 episode seasons, but when you get a show like Tower of God or God of High School, they need to plan 4 seasons ahead. Even tell people, hey, this show is going to be 5-6 seasons long. This is what you can kind of expect. Then they can slow it down a little bit. But man, they try to fit a whole year's worth of content in just 13 episodes, and you can't do that, and nobody can.
No, and I mean, you have other animes that never get reviewed for another season or whatever, but they don't rush the story like they did this one. We will get into it in Blue Exorcist, because I do know that they rushed that one because they weren't going to get another season. But even then, you could tell they had a plan in motion to finish it. And even though they skipped the supposed best arc that they ended up coming back to reanimate later, at least they gave us like a solid ending. And like, I feel season 1 was a complete story. So we'll get into more of that next week. But yeah, I really feel like they dropped the ball with God of High School. I feel like Crunchyroll, they get so excited to have these Crunchyroll original series, and then they rush through them to where yeah, they maybe give you a pretty well completed story to where
Yeah.
you don't necessarily need a season 2, but it also suffers because of that.
And we're doing these basically just as like as the hardcore anime fans. If you're just someone that just wants to just get into it and just like for the story, you don't want critics, you don't want any of that. Watch these animes because they are good.
Oh yeah.
But if you are a hardcore anime fan where pretty much all you watch is anime, kind of what we do, I'll watch some side shows with my girlfriend like Criminal Minds and Law and Order and stuff like that.
I can't because of this podcast. I there's very few. So I watch some shows with my wife, and it's whatever she's watching.
I'm not saying just skip these altogether, but watch them and critique them like we do. Figure out what you don't like about them, so that way when you go into a new show, you can see the little things that we're seeing, and you could be like, man, they could have done a lot better job on that, or whatever, or if the characters are dry, So that's my take on it.
Yep, and that's how I feel too. We're not professional reviewers or nothing by any means, but we're trying to take this podcast serious, and if we're going to take it serious. We love anime. I still really enjoyed watching God of High School, even though I gave it such a low rating. But I'm trying to do it with a critical eye. I'm trying, because otherwise I'm just going to be like, every anime is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I can't do that. I'm trying to be critical here. So that's why it got such a low rating, is I had to look at the negatives with the positives.
Yeah, and a lot of these are kind of, shows like these are good to watch because it broadens your horizon. You're able to... You see these, a lot of people probably don't know what webtoons are. So then you're like, oh, okay, well, and then, you kind of read the webtoons or the manga panels that they have, the little slideshows, whatever they do. I believe it's all just one big list and you just scroll down.
Yep.
But it opens it up, and so there's nothing wrong with that. So even these ratings are, you don't agree with them, it goes from there. So. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this episode. If anyone doesn't know, we put these out Tuesday morning. That's the earliest you can get it. And every single Tuesday, this will come out. So you can see it on all podcast platforms. Wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, we're mornings. Just about everywhere at this point. You don't even know this. I've been working on getting us out there even more, and we are now on TuneIn, Reason, and a couple others. We're really accessible at this point. I think the only one that's oddly being difficult with us is Pandora.
Yeah,
I sent that in, and they've been reviewing our show for 2-3 weeks.
And that's fine. We're not gonna be on everything, but
no, we're on the major ones.
Yeah, so we can only do so much, but. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's good. Do you want to close out, or you want me to?
You got it.
All right. So, again, follow us, look for us, rate us, review us. We need as many ratings and reviews would be amazing. And a little kind of excited note is I just looked a little this morning at our downloads, and we have hit over 120 downloads in 4 episodes, which is honestly really cool to see that we do have fans listening. We do have people, I don't know if they're fans yet, but we have people listening. We have people re-listening, listening to new episodes as they come out, and it's really cool to see. So thank you all for those of you that have been with us since week 1 or week 2, week 3, whatever, and have listened to the back episodes and continue. Just thank you. But now that that's out of the way, email whatintheanime.podcast@gmail.com. It is all one word. Social medias, same thing. Look for us, What in the Anime, or whatintheanime.podcast. You can find us everywhere. So, thank you.
Yep. And at some point, we want to do this show. We can do the show live. Like you said, we don't do a lot of editing. The only time is if someone walks in the room, we have kids, stuff like that. So, you get to see it, raw, everything right as you see it. And so, that's what we kind of like about it. None of it's scripted. And... maybe there's some boring parts, but
yeah,
we try to push through that. So
we do. And I have been working on trying to get us set up for a live show to where I can include all of our sound bites and stuff. So that could be coming sooner rather than later.
Yeah. So it all works with you guys. So,
yeah. So thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at What in the Anime, and our TikTok and Instagram at whatintheanime.podcast.